Lily. How are you doing? I'm just getting started, so just give me a few minutes. Hey guys, I'm just setting up really quickly and I'll be right there. Hello, let's see, who do we got here? Hey Deborah, how are you doing? Hey Bets Lopez, hey KK, how are you doing? All right, they're talking about the fan club. Hey there, Stephen Baker, how are you doing? All right, guys, so I'm also going to work after this, so that's why I got on my scrub uniform. So, but I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of things. So basically, I'm Desiree, the CEO for Rich and Rich Home Opportunities. For those of you who know me, you know, we just did our show for New York Fashion Week. We did that in September. So we did very good at that. So we got a chance to be a part of the Elle International Magazine for October release, and then also for Harper's Bazaar for October release, international also. And so the next couple of things that we have that are coming from there are basically our interviews that we did when we first showed up for New York Fashion Week. This was my first time participating, and we did so good. The models were just excellent. You can go back through my TikTok page and you can see some of the stuff that I put up for it. I don't have everything up right now because it's a lot of stuff. So needless to say, I try to, put a little bit of the information from previous, but then, when we came back, I knew definitely that I wanted to go back in September. So I did not have any idea that we would get an opportunity to actually go back for early bird and go February and September. So I'm grateful that we did so well, that, that we were invited back, because that's one of the good things. You want to be invited, you want to go and participate in things, but you also want people to invite you back, because that's how your brand grows. And so Rich and Rich, we are going to be going back. We're going back February. Yay. So that's a different time frame of the year for us. And so what that means basically is that the way that we design and everything is going to be geared towards that February. Hey, Anus, how are you doing? Hey, 69 by 566, how are you doing? Let's see, guest. Hi, guest. Let's see, hi, Chic. So basically, we're going back in February of 2026. So whenever you're doing things and, you're not going to always know what you need to be doing. You're not going to always know the requirements when you're doing something new for the first time. And so some of my takeaways from our September New York Fashion Week participation via flying solo is that we walk the runway also, because after our products are introduced or whatever, then you actually, you and whoever you're collaborating with, let's say I did, like this time around, I did the shoes. And so whoever the clothing designer is, whoever that jewelry designer is, if there was a handbag or purse or anything like that, all of you, once your models have presented your products, then you come on right back behind your models. And for those of you who maybe got a chance to actually see me during the New York Fashion Week, I was not expecting that. I did not know that we were going to be doing that. And so that was a big kind of like, it was nice. It was wonderful. And I actually ended up doing it 3 times. Okay, so getting to the point of why I'm here today. So one of the things that I was already doing was working on weight management. And so I'm a nurse. I'm also a nurse practitioner. So it's important to try to maintain a healthy weight. So I try not to get too far overboard, but you know, sometimes you can still be carrying pounds that you don't need to be carrying, especially when we're getting older. And so that's me. I'm getting older. And so the way that you eat when you're younger, I can guarantee you will not be able to always continue to eat the same way as you get older. So before New York Fashion Week in September, I was already working on that goal for losing weight. And one of the main things that I wanted to do, I wanted to, try some of the newer weight loss medications, some of the injections. And so basically, I don't have diabetes. I'm healthy. I'm healthy as I don't know what. I rarely go to the doctor. I'm rarely sick. So usually I tell people at work, I'm like, if you want to get rid of me because you think I'm going to be either not here because I'm going to be sick a lot and stuff like that, not going to happen because I don't get sick. I'm rarely ever sick. So needless to say, I'm constantly at work. And so you constantly will see my face. So anyway, get used to it. So anyway, they always laugh at me because that's just how I am. So needless to say, I'm healthy. I'm healthy as I don't know what. So some of the diabetic medications that they have, like the Semaglutide that you can actually use to inject, and you're doing that however the way your doctor has prescribed for you to do it. All of us don't qualify for that particular program because we don't have, we don't have the diabetes, or we don't have the underlying medical conditions to actually get that one. And so they have the other medication that you can utilize, which is the Tirzepatide, which I actually am grateful for because you just need to be obese. And so obese, unfortunately, I know it's a painful word, but when you get so far outside of the ideal body weight and body BMI, body mass index, then you classify it as obese. And so unfortunately, I fall in that category because of my weight, and I'm 5'2", so I'm pretty short. I'm 5'2" on a good day. I'm probably 5'1" on most days. So anyway, needless to say, depending on probably how I have my hair and all that great stuff. So I don't qualify for the Semaglutide to be able to take that particular medication. And so I qualify for the other one, which is good for me. And so I started doing mine 30 days ago. So 30 days ago when I started, I can tell you that for me, I started off at 177. I don't mind telling you my pounds or anything like that because I still look good. So anyway, needless to say, that's what I started at. And so that was 30. It's been more than 30 days. It's probably been more like a little bit over 30 days because I'm paying for the medication out of pocket. So that means that I don't have to wait for the insurance or anything like that to do my authorization. That means that I'm able to keep up with my injections as I need to because I am paying out of pocket for my injection. So I don't have to go through all of that waiting for the insurance to authorize it, for me to get the next shot. Sometimes people have to go, they have a lapse in the time when the injections are due in the time that the insurance actually is going to do that authorization. So I don't have to go through that part of it. But, if you don't want to pay out of pocket or you're not able to pay out of pocket, then, having some of the other, if you qualify under some of the other programs, you can use your insurance, that's fine. With the program with WeightCare, which is the program that I'm using is WeightCare. And so basically you can use your FSA programs and your HSA programs. There's a possibility for you to get your insurance to pay in that way because, you're doing something that is more preventive. You're preventing yourself from getting these medical conditions, diabetes, hypertension, a myriad of other things that can occur when you are obese, which includes also mental health, because you guys know I'm a mental health nurse by trade and I'm a mental health nurse practitioner. And so a lot of times our well-being is tied to how we look and how we perceive ourselves. And so if we know that we are overweight, maybe you're not able to get into the clothes or you don't look the way that you want to look, sometimes that can lead to depression. So if you are able to prevent some of those things because you are on your diet, you're maintaining your weight, you're doing your weight loss, physician supervised or nurse practitioner supervised weight loss, then that's something that is commendable too. And so a lot of times your FSA, your HSA, you can find out with your particular insurance carrier if that's something that you're going to be able to do. So the first thing that I will say before you, and you hear this all the time, you're going to hear it again, before you start any kind of weight loss program, before you're doing anything with medications, before you're doing anything with injections or anything like that, you need to go and see your provider, whoever that provider is. If that's your physician, if that's your nurse practitioner, whoever it is, whoever manages your family care, your primary care person, that's who you need to see first. So for those of you who are looking at me like, what? That means that you need to have somebody already, regardless of whether you're trying to lose weight or not lose weight. You should have a physician that you're going to see on a regular basis and at least getting that yearly checkup with your physical. All right. So those are the things that need to be done first, because you need to make sure that you're healthy. You need to make sure that you're not undergoing any kind of conditions that may preclude you from using any type of weight loss medication or entering into any kind of weight loss program, especially if you're going to be including medications and also exercising, and if you're changing your diet drastically. You should be monitored, you should be watched. So the first thing that I did is did all of that stuff so that I could make sure that I'm healthy, which I already knew I was healthy because I'm just healthy. I'm blessed and I'm healthy, and I don't have anything going on right now with me, except for being overweight. And for me, that's a very big deal, especially now that I am participating in fashion weeks and I'm going on the runway and my models are walking and then I'm walking after my models and everything like that. I want to represent my company in a way that, we are striving to be unique designers. We want to always be extraordinary, not ordinary. And so part of that for us right now is going to be maintaining our physical well-being, mental well-being, and that includes weight loss for me. So that's why I joined WeightCare. I like the fact that, you get your physician talk and all of that great stuff. The first thing that you want to do if you're thinking about WeightCare or anything like that is go ahead and get somebody to do a full body shot of you so you can see your body, because you're going to go from beginning to end. And when I get enough courage, I will put mine up so you guys can see mine, since I'm doing, the WeightCare and everything like that. So you can see kind of like how the journey has been. So far, I will tell you that I started off at 177, so I'm 168. So I still got a way to go with it. For me, healthy for me is 155. So 155 is kind of like where I want to be at, because that's kind of like as small as I would like to be with my height and everything like that. Of course, when you're losing weight, you lose some of everything. And so 155, that's my goal. So I'm at 168. So I've still got some time. February is, a way off. But I feel that, because of the fact that I am in the WeightCare program, and that they do have the app, they do have the nutrition, they do talk about the diet tips, you do have your physician that is monitoring you. When you start off on the injections, you start off at a very low dose. You're going to be very grateful for that. They also give you Zofran. Zofran is a medication that helps to control nausea, vomiting, or whatever. Because anytime you're changing your medications or we're adding new medications to your regimen, one of the things that we need to think about, nausea is typically one of the common things that people will have. And so they anticipated that. So I got my 30 days of Zofran that came with it because it was a new medication. And let me tell you, I had nausea. It wasn't to the point where I felt like, I couldn't continue on with the program or anything like that, but I was definitely grateful for the Zofran, so I definitely did use my Zofran. So got through the 30 days. I will tell you that I was kind of wondering, I'm like, gosh, I wonder, is this, I'm wondering what really is happening? Why is this medication, or why are these medications so helpful? What is the science behind it? Because, I'm a geek and I'm a nerd, so I kind of like to know the science behind it, because when you can understand why something is occurring, then you can understand why some of the protocols and things are put in place, and that helps you to be able to be compliant. So I like to be compliant, but I need to know why I'm being compliant and why it's working. So for me personally, with taking the medication, I'm going to show you how it comes in just a few minutes. The thing that's important for me is the fact that Is it going to work? And I will tell you that, yes, I am at 168 right now, but the thing that I noticed the most, like there were some jeans and everything that I could not get into. I mean, I could not button them up or anything like that. And so I tried on one for sure, and I actually had it on over the weekend, and I couldn't get in them before. And so now I'm able to get into them. So of course, yeah, I'm excited about that because these are some really, really cool jeans made by one of my really, really cool friends, and so they were really, really dope. And so I was glad that I was able to get back into them, because then I bought another sweatshirt from her, a jean type thing or whatever, and so now I can get into that. And so yeah, so I'm happy about that. And so I noticed that change. Most importantly for me though is, when you have when any type of addiction you have, if it's food, if it's sugar, whatever it is, one of the things about that is the fact that it's constantly like on your mind. So you're constantly thinking about food, when you're gonna get your next meal, or what you're gonna be eating, how much of it you're gonna be eating, and so your mind is kind of circled around that. I will tell you that my mind is not circled around that anymore, which is good. And if you go to WeightCare and you can look on the site and you can see some of the reviews from people, that food hunger, that constant, thought of food or whatever, that's not on my mind anymore. And so that's wonderful. Then the science behind it is that it slows gastric emptying. And when you slow gastric emptying of your stomach, basically you feel full longer. We've heard this before, feeling full, eating small amounts, and when you feel like you're full, not eating any longer. Well, for some of us, me, we have ignored that little signal so long that we don't really recognize when we're full anymore, because we're not really eating to be full. Sometimes we're eating to gluttony. We're just eating, we're overeating. And so when we're overeating, that's not a good thing. And so now we don't recognize when we feel full anymore. Well, I tell you, with the injections, with the medication, I definitely feel full. I'm not perseverating around when my next meal is going to come or anything like that. One of the things that my dietitian was telling me, I'm feeling like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. She said, when you feel like you want to eat and you need to eat, then you need to eat. Don't focus so much on that. Eat when you feel the necessity, you feel like you want to eat and you feel like you're hungry. And so that's what we do. So that's what I do. And since I work night shift, I do a lot of that at night, but I balance that out in the daytime, because if I'm working night shift, then you're not going to see me eating all day long and then go on a night shift, and then I'm going to be eating there too. I eat the same things that we do that you do during the daytime to maintain your weight is the same thing that we do on night shift, because I'm a nurse. So we're up, we're walking, we're moving, so I'm not going to be sedentary during those hours. So I'm not eating all day long when I know I got to go to work, for 8 or whatever hours. So I save my biggest time to eat during that time frame, because I'm up, I'm moving around. So that's it. Now, one of the things that I also started doing before the September Fashion Week is exercising. Yeah, I was in the military, so for me, exercising includes push-ups, sit-ups, and then whatever else I'm going to do, I do weights. I like doing that. You should add cardio to it or whatever, so I've been to some spin classes. I like the walking, I like the running, so those are things that, I have to do. So for me, it's important not to only just do the WeightCare program and just do the WeightCare and the injections. It's important for me also to change the way that I'm eating, the way that I'm looking at food, increasing my water intake. For me, I had to give up sodas and I had to give up sugar. I gave up sugar. I don't eat a lot of sugar anymore because, I don't know, I'm just lucky that way, because as I'm getting older, the way that I used to feel about sugar, you just don't feel the same way anymore, which is a good thing, because that was one of my downfalls, is that I have an extreme sweet tooth. Now, I will tell you that there's something good, like my coworker gave me a Kit Kat last night. It was gone, like in 5 seconds. So it's still there, but I don't feel it. I don't need to be eating it all day long or whatever, and that was fine for me. And I stopped drinking sodas. That's, just stop drinking them. But I do occasionally have one, especially when it's, I work inpatient mental health. So when it's extremely one of those stressful ones, I might have a Coke or something like that. Like last night, and I had a real Coke because I didn't have the whole can. I only had half a can, so 6 ounces. And the Kit Kat. And so that was helpful for me. That was my treat for the week, because that's not something I'm doing every day. So those things are positive for me, and I still feel good. And getting over the first days, first 30 days with the nausea and everything like that, that was wonderful. And then you are working with your WeightCare physician to find out, okay, so my 30 days is up. I was on this low dose. Now what do I need to do? And then they have you have to check in to do the things that are required of you. Like I had to get my weight in yesterday. Was it today? All right. Well, anyway, I had to get it in by the end of the day, so I did that. So, because we have a scale at work, so just hopped on the scale. Since I'm at work most of the time, I can hop on the scale and kind of monitor my progress. Because when you're using the scale, it's best to try to use the same one every time, because you don't want to be using ones that maybe they're not calibrated. That can be discouraging to you because it could look like you're picking up weight when you're really not picking up weight. And then remember, you're also going to be losing water. You don't want to be losing muscle or anything like that. And it's important for me not to lose muscle. So that's the reason that I do the push-ups, I do the sit-ups, and I lift weights. And I'm going to show you a little bit about that program soon, because I'm hoping you guys will be able to see me when I'm all the way back here when I get ready to start doing my push-ups. So we'll get there. So what I'm going to show you now, so the program is WeightCare. The link is in my bio. So if you go to my link and you use my code, which is Desiree, my name, and the little numbers that come after it that's in my TikTok bio, you can go there. And if you are going to be paying out of pocket because you're not going to qualify under certain programs or anything like that to use like the Semaglutide, if you can't use that one, then you can use some of the other ones. And so if you put that code in there, then you get $100 off, which is really, really, really nice. I pay out of pocket, and yeah, that is really the price, guys. So if you're going someplace and if you're paying out of pocket, you're going to be paying anywhere from $300 and $500 for those injections, but that should be for the month. Now, I don't think you should be paying $3 and $5 for every week or anything like that. This is a 30-day program, so I pay that for 30 days. And I'm going to tell you right now, I can think of all the nonsense that I buy and all the stuff that I waste my money on and everything like that. And so if I'm going to be wasting my money on things that I will not really, they're not really tangible things, because yeah, your clothes or whatever. And I love clothes because I'm a clothing designer. So I want you to be buying, definitely, because I'm that. But at the end of the day, what you're going to be seeing in the mirror, what's constant, what you're seeing all the time, what you're moving around with all day long is yourself. So invest in yourself, and investing in yourself, you want to be healthy. I do. I want to be healthy. I like WeightCare because I feel healthy. I feel better now that my weight is coming off. Now that, when I'm thinking about the runway or whatever, and I'm designing for my models and things of that nature, I'm also designing for that, that outfit that I want to be wearing when I go to the runway, because I walked it 3 times last time. I will definitely end up walking it at least twice, because I designed for both men and for women. And then I'm starting to do my children things slowly but surely, but slowly. So let me go ahead and show you how this medication comes. All right, so it comes in the packaging. So this is just the box after it's taken out of the packaging. And let me tell you, this is my second 30 days. So this is, I'm going into my 60 days now. So when the medication actually came, I work night shift. And so of course it's coming during the daytime. And thank God my son was here, so he went and got it for me. But you know what he did? Because I knew it was coming. So when I heard, I said, I think that's what it is. And so when I heard, I said, hey, what is it? And I heard him opening up packages. I didn't know what he was doing. He said, well, Mom, he said, this says to refrigerate as soon as you receive it. And so I'm refrigerating it. So, yes, this is my son. He's my little college student. So as soon as he saw it and he actually took the time to read it. So good having people that like to read, and, especially when they're your kids. And so that's what he did for me. So it comes like this. Tells you that the medication is inside, all that wonderful stuff. And then, it tells you, the Revive prescription pharmacy. This is particularly where mine came from. This is the Tirzepatide that I'm using. I'm now at the 0.5 milligram dose. That's where I am at now. I started off at the 0.25. So it comes in all of this. I keep mine just like this because I don't want any chance that, I'm going to mess up the medication or anything like that. So, and I even, put the tapes back on it. So this is like once a week that I do it. And then it has these wonderful little ice packs that are in there. Mine is still all nice cold, and it's got little icy things. You can hear that in it. Then you get your medication. And so this is what your medication looks like. It clearly says on here to refrigerate. So I'll take it out the bag. And let me go get you the needle. I'm going to get the needle that it also comes with. All right, so it comes, so your medication comes in the box and everything. So we shall take it out. And then, you know, you got your box here. You got the box here. Hey RJ, hey Lamu, hey Yasoy, hi Rusty, hi Yolanda. So it comes like this. And then remember, you guys, to tap the screen, double tap the screen to like the live. Make sure that you share it. So, you know, you want to hit, you know, swipe, you know, double tap and then share and all that wonderful stuff. Because, you know, as creators, you know, we want people to be coming to our lives and things of that nature. So those are the things that help us out. And so your prescription will be clearly on here. You know, what you have to give yourself. Mine is, for mine's purposes, says, you know, I need to inject 0.5 milliliters, which I do. It tells you when you go into WeightCare, it tells you where you should be injecting, and then the medication looks like that. So one of the things they tell you, like the first, when you especially when you're first starting it, you'll look at it and you'll feel like, oh, this is not enough medication. It's enough medication. It's enough. All you do is inject it. You're only doing this one time a week. So this is only, you're only drawing up medications out of this 4 times. And I try to do mine on Monday. It's just helpful to have a day, the same day every week. So my day that I do it is on Monday. So this depends on when you get the medication. If you're getting it whenever you start it, then you know a week after, then you need to go ahead and do your, you know, your next injection. And so that's how it comes. Then it has a cute little code, the QR code, so you can find out even more information about it. So I am going to put my medication back in the refrigerator, in the box, and back into my refrigerator. Because I know my next injection is coming in another couple of days. And so then they also send you the needles, and you get alcohol pads. All right, so that's what comes in your kit. So my medication is back in the refrigerator. My needles, my alcohol pads are here. And I am going to put those back up, so I'll be right back, because I don't want these misplaced either. So I don't want to lay them down somewhere and then I don't know where I put them and I can't come back to them. All right, and so that's WeightCare. So once again, so WeightCare, the link is in my bio. I'll keep doing these because, you know, it's a motivator to tell someone else about, you know, success you're having, especially when you're talking about weight loss or anything that helps you to be better, as far as, you know, anything that you're doing that you feel like you want other people to be able to share in it or whatever. And so WeightCare is a program that I went with, very easy for me to do. I don't have a problem with computers or anything like that. So it was easy for me to take my full body photo, get on there, talk to, because you're going to have a consultation with the doctor and all that great stuff. All those things have to occur. You're not getting no medication without talking to some kind of physician, nurse practitioner, or whatever. So it's not going to happen. So they, you know, let you know that. And then if you have other questions, then, you know, there's a forum, there's a chat and everything. You can ask about questions, because one of the things that I knew, I could have stayed at like the same dose, but for me, I wanted to increase my dose to the next dose. And so we'll see how this goes for the next 30 days, because everything is, you know, is a work in progress. So it doesn't have to be perfect or anything like that in the beginning, but at least what you're doing is you are deciding. So for me, what I typically like to also do, so WeightCare is the program. The link is in my bio if you want to find out more information. If you put the code in there and all that stuff, there's a coupon code. It's got my name. It's $100 off because this is every month that I'm, buying it. So, you can cancel your subscription and all that great stuff. When you feel like you're at the weight loss that you want to be at and all that stuff, is you're working with your physician, your primary care provider, then you'll do those things according to how they meet your needs. But the link, once again, is in my bio. So it's important for me to work out. And so I'm hoping that you guys will be able to see me. And so I'm going to just run through my typical little routine that I do before I go to work. It does not take me a long time, but I do like to be doing it. And so the first thing is my push-up. And no, I don't do the ones that you do on like your knees. I actually do the real push-up. All right, so that's 20. So that's 20 push-ups. And so I do my push-ups. But then the next thing I have to do is my sit-ups. And I don't know if they still have these on TikTok anymore, but I bought mine probably about maybe sometime in maybe July or August from the TikTok shop. It's a Thigh Master. So then once I do my push-ups, I usually do sets. So the next thing I do is I'm going to do my sit-ups. But I like this. And I like this because, for one, it helps you to work on your pelvic muscles, which help you with a whole lot of things, including being able to start and stop your stream of urine if you're going to the bathroom. So I pop over and I do my sit-ups. So I put it in between my legs. And first thing I do is go ahead and I do 10 sets of just, with my Thigh Master, just, not 10 sets, but 10 reps. Then the next thing I do is I'm going to lift up, stay like this, hold it for 10 seconds. Then out, still got this in between my legs, and we do some leg lifts. Hold it for 5 seconds. That was sit-ups. And so typically I do 3 sets of those like that, but I also do my weights. So that Thigh Master, I don't know if they still have it in the TikTok shop. If they do, try to get it. So I like working all of my body. So yeah, the push-ups and the sit-ups, that's good. But I also like to do my biceps. So I just pop up and I grab my weights. These are 12s. Then just 10 reps. Okay, so that's my biceps. Then I typically go straight for my shoulders. See if I have enough room because I'm in this hallway. All right, so that's for my shoulders. Then I just continue on. Triceps. I put them together, however you want to put them together. Elbows in. 10. All right, so that was my upper body. Well, I'm not done. So then I grab my Thigh Master again. All right, and this is the concept behind why I do the Thigh Master. When you're concentrating on keeping this in between your legs, and I squeeze also, which ladies helps, and guys, helps your butt not to be as flabby and saggy, because we don't want flabby and saggy buttocks if we can help it. So I put it in between my thighs once again, and I like my weights. You see how I can walk? And even though I'm talking to you guys, my concentration is still on keeping this thing in between my legs, because if not, guess what's going to happen? It's going to fall. It, to me, just gives you more concentration, a little bit more intensity without having to do a whole lot. So it's not like you have to lift the weights, you know, lift the weight of the weights or increase the weight of the weights. And then I do my little squats. And when I come up, I squeeze my thighs. So I'm squeezing that Thigh Master. Go down. Still got to keep some tension on it because you don't want it to fall. All right. So then I move straight from here, and I like to work my calves because you need to work the calves. So just lift up. And even when I lift up, I still squeeze this, the Thigh Master. So it just gives me a little bit more intensity. Don't have to do it, but I do. So that's what I do. Now I can take, see, I pulled it out. I didn't drop it. Let me put this, I'm kind of OCD. I like my stuff to be in place. So I'm going to put them back. All right. And so it's not about just doing weight loss medications or anything like that. It's also about making sure that you also are doing your exercises as well so that it can help out. So needless to say, that routine, so I did 20 push-ups, full military push-ups, just because I was in the military for 18 years, so I ought to be able to do it, and so I was. Even though my age, and still had to work up to it. I didn't pop down here on day one and like, oh, no, did not work like that. Then do my, always do my abdominals. So the little routine that I showed you with the Thigh Master, because it just puts more intensity there for you, because you got to make sure that you're keeping it in between your legs, you're not dropping it. And then do your repetitions. And then I like my weights. As we get older, muscles tend to waste away. So the best way to keep them from wasting away is to do some weight training. Nobody's saying you got to lift, you know, a whole lot of weights. And if you're into your weight-bearing exercises, fine. Because let me tell you, the push-ups, the sit-ups, just doing those without having to do the Thigh Master, without even adding the weights, you're going to get a good workout. So that means that you can actually have great weight loss. You're not going to be losing muscle mass, because you don't want to be losing muscle mass if you can help it. The way you preserve it is make sure that you try to do some kind of weight training. So that's the routine I do. I try to make myself do it before I go to work, because I know I'm going to be going to work. So I'll do that like 10, 15 minutes beforehand. You know, it takes you about, you know, it just depends on how I'm doing. If today I only want to get 10 minutes in, that's all I get, 10 minutes in. I don't stress about, oh my God, I didn't do like 3, 4 or whatever. No, I don't get into that. I just get into move my body, do something, then I get to work where I'm going to be doing even more. And then, you know, if you can try to get yourself in a mindset to do whatever it is you decide to do it in the morning, do it before you go to bed. You know, in the movies you see sometimes those men, women, they pop down, they're doing their push-ups or whatever. That's helpful because, you know, you don't always have that big block of time. Okay. So once again, WeightCare, that's what I'm utilizing, guys. I'll come back, keep giving you an update on my progress. Started off at 177 pounds, now down to 168 pounds. Still going to be losing. have incorporated exercise in. For me, it's push-ups, abs, and the full body workout with my weights. Now, I could have got into a whole lot of other stuff that I do, and as I continue to do these videos, I'll do that too, so you guys can kind of see it. In the videos, go back to my TikTok videos. All of the little outfits, all the little cute little outfits that the women are wearing, especially the turquoise outfit, because I also did the shoes. Those are from Rich and Rich. Those are our designs. So they are on our website. But WeightCare, the link is in my bio. You can go to the TikTok shop. I'll make sure I keep putting that stuff in there. The one thing is, it's hard when you're managing where your stuff is, when it's in, different shops, because we're also in the Shein marketplace for our shoes, and we just got accepted for our clothing. So, those things have to be put into all the marketplaces. In TikTok shop, you have to upload your products to there too. So I'll make sure I get those things on there so you guys can see those workout gears. I design every day, every single day. I don't care. Rain, sleep, doesn't matter. I design something. For the New York Fashion Show for February, any of you guys that know me, typically I design for that event. So if you invite me to an event and I come out to the event, I talk with you about your event. I want to kind of get a feel for kind of like what you're going for, what is it about, and then I design those products accordingly. So for February will be no exception. Everything will be new. It will be designed solely for the purpose of February for Fashion Week. And so we will have those. However, we will be doing a fashion show where you guys can see the stuff we did from September with the shoes and everything, because February will be totally different because I design every single day. So I've got ideals and I have thoughts and all that wonderful stuff. You can visit our TikTok shop, see what we got there. We're always putting more and more things in there. So you guys will get more and more personable with me as I continue to do these TikToks. Let me tell you something about TikTok Live also. This is my little caveat for any of you guys ever thinking about it. TikTok is a wonderful platform that's just easy for me to get onto. And I've been on social media because I've been doing my business for a while. But TikTok by far is the one that gets me the most results the quickest. And so I love getting on live to be able to interact with the audience, to be able to say my highs and be able to, talk to you guys and just pop, on and off. You get immediate response like no other that I can think about, when we're doing on other social platforms. So for me, TikTok platform and doing live is important. It gets you that interaction. I believe that my brand has grown and is getting more popular because I do TikTok and because you have the ability to schedule it and schedule events and things of that nature so that people start to recognize your brand. They can put a name to your brand. It's easier to buy from somebody that you know versus someone that you don't know because you know the other things that they are doing. And I try my best to let you guys into, as much as I'm doing behind the scenes as I can, just like we did for the New York Fashion Week for September. We'll do the same thing in February. But now WeightCare, now that we're doing, this, really trying to be healthy, trying to come. We're not waiting for New Year. We don't need to wait for New Year because this year is now. Okay, so we're not waiting for no New Year. We're not doing no New Year's resolutions. We're doing things right now and to get this stuff taken care of before we enter into other things that we need to be doing. So I appreciate you guys. Let me run through and see who's on here. Hey, Chocolate Bray. Hey, Zara. Hey, Bang. Hey, Restless. Hey, Raya. Hey, Danita. Hey, Camilla. Hey, Olivia. Hey, Shayna. Hey, Jessica. Hey, D3. Hey, Edit. Hi, Miami. Hey, Yasmin. Hi, Abiana. Hi, Minnick. Hi, Lyndon. Hi, Nepetus. Hi, Snoopy. Hey, Layla. Hey, Nugget. Hey, Rose. Hey, Juju Rose. Hey, Yes, bruh. Hi, Hayop. Hi, Tiger. Hi, Bash. Hi, Wisdom. Hello, guys. Hello. Thank you guys so much for coming out to my live. Thank you so much, Wisdom, for liking my live. I appreciate you so much. Hey, Lamu. Hey, Marion. Hi, Yule. Hi, Tiger. Hi, Wayne. Hi, Doof. Hi, Habib. Hi, Raja with the lipsticks. I see you. Hey, Yo Soy. Hi, Rusty. Hey, Yolanda. Hey there, Trickster. Is it or Tricky Z? Thank you for the gift. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Hey, Tuyet. Hi, Tuyet. More to come, guys. I'll get on here more. Hey, Pretty Maya. Hi, Tuyet. Hi, Constantino. Hi, Janub. Hi, user 611. Hey, Franco. Hey, KJ. Hey, Paco. Hey, Merca. Hey, Marietta. Hey, Cash. Hey, Sasha. Hey, Vazil. Hey, Ruben. Hi, user 108. Hey, Carol. Hey, Dana. Hey, Abduras. Sorry if I said it wrong. Hey, user 604. Hi, user 142. Hi, Mena. Hi, Holy EQ. Hi, Jolex. Hi, Yvonne. Hey, Ricardo. Hey, Carlin. Hey, Maludo. Hi, Jono. Hi, Cattle Waller. Hi, Jocelyn. Hi, Honest. Hey, Mary. Hey, Dion. Hey, 4D77. Hey, Necco8. Hi, Laura. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Eli. Hey, Unknown. Hi, Ara. Hi, Benito. Hi, BMW. Hi, Adis. Hi, Virgo. Hi, Love. Russell. Hi, Apple. Hey, Gigi. Hi, NYFWAI. Hi, WSB Fashion. Hi, Peter. Hi, William Lee. Hi, user 806. Hey, Chrissy. Hey, Eugene. Hey, Alexis. Hey, Mimi. Hi, Lauren. Hi, user 863. Hi, Elise. Hi, Manura. Hi, Noel. Hi, Lung Fun. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Linda. Hi, Rosa. Hi, Camille. Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Ramona. Hi, Maxfield. Yvette. Hello, guys. Hello. I appreciate all of you guys. I usually try to go through and get everyone, but right now I got to get off to work. So as you see, I'm sweating. Sweating is good. That means that the workout is effective for doing what it needs to do. Love my fans. Love my followers. We have our bulletin that's out now, so I'll be posting things on that bulletin that I won't be can't always get on live and tell you guys about. So as I, continue to go on with WeightCare and everything, remember the link is in the bio. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you again real soon.